Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Jerry Brewer Alumni Stadium. Tonight, the football clash of DuBois County is taking place as the Jasper Wildcats will play host to the Southridge Raiders. And coming into this matchup, we've got two football teams that had their opening last week, and the both teams winning pretty soundly over their opponents. Jasper with a big win over the Memorial Tigers, and the Southridge Raiders with a big drumming of Clarksville last week. And so this is just one of those football games where it's still kind of a measuring stick for both teams coming into this. So we'll see what's going to happen on the field tonight. Hello, everybody. I'm Craig Schneider along with Mike Blessinger, and just take a look at things as far as coming into this football game. You got the Southridge Raiders with their new head coach, Scott Winning, who is a former Jennings County coach. He's obviously 1-0 so far with the Southridge Raiders, but overall 13-28 in his fifth year overall. And, taking over for a coach for Southridge who held that spot for 8 years, and Kelly Murphy. And in that football game last week, Bless, they won pretty soundly 61-8 over Clarksville, and they had some ball players that actually really stood out pretty well. I mean, as far as like some of the things they were able to accomplish last week, we had Connor Craig, who's a nice, quick, strong back, and he pretty well shouldered with a 65-yard punt return for a touchdown to open the scoring. And then he also had 2 rushing TDs and also caught a 65-yard pass from quarterback Luke Stetter. So 204 all-purpose yards there, Bless, but he's going to be a handful for the Cats tonight.
Yeah, and not just him, but every Southridge Raider is going to be coming at these Cats. And the all-time records of these two teams playing may not come even close to indicating what happens on the field, because these guys know each other, their parents work together. This DuBois County stuff, these people know each other, and this is a big game for everybody, and it's just a great night for football here in DuBois County.
Well, like I said, that's the thing. I think it's early on in the season. It's a good measuring stick. Jasper has pretty well dominated Memorial over the last 8 or 9 years or so in that rivalry, and so they've won most of those games pretty soundly. And then Southridge is have had some pretty easy early on opponents and all that, but now it's Southridge against Jasper, two teams that just really pride themselves in putting together some good football out there, and so we're going to see those two really battle tonight.
Absolutely, and two premier programs in Southern Indiana in their respective classes. These guys just absolutely compete, and that's what's great about DuBois County, and the success of the county in general really comes from what we have with what's represented here on the field tonight, with these guys just coming out and bringing it every play. And that's why, as we move on through the season, both these teams are going to have success. There's no question about it. They got talent, they're well coached, and they just bring it every night. And tonight's going to be exciting to see how the battle turns out.
Well, and taking a look at the Jasper Wildcats last week with a 59-29 big win over Memorial, fell behind in that football game 19-0, and I'll tell you, Coach Ahrens, who is 95-25 so far in his 11-year career at Jasper, so an outstanding overall record there, looking for his 100th win, hopefully this year, once he gets 5 more wins. But, his son last week, Nolan Ahrens, was really sharp, 13-17 passing, 227 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was a real good start for I shouldn't say the start was that great for the Cats, but certainly they finished strong in that game. Once they got settled in and got some of the jitters and everything out of the way, they really turned it on with their offense. What a great mix they had, and then defense got sound and really brought it to them. So.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You talk about a mix as far as the offense, 244 yards rushing, 227 yards passing for a total of 471 yards. And, Southridge also had big numbers overall with 447 yards, only 142 for Clarksville last week. Well, we're ready for kickoff, and here we go as Kruger's getting the kickoff, and he kicks it just like he did a number of times last week once he kind of took over that spot and kicks it into the end zone. So Southridge is going to start from their own 20, Bless.
Yeah, nice big leg by Cal Kruger. I got a feeling we're going to see a lot of touchbacks, not many returns, unless we decide we want somebody to return it.
So obviously right there, Southridge gets first possession of the football. And taking a look at their starting lineup, look at their offensive line. We have number 54, it's Singer Logan Solman. The guards are Bryce Harder, number 55, and Alex Merkel. And the tackles are Javier Canales and big Ethan Schweppe, number 74. Southridge quickly just right up the middle, and that's Alex Householder, one of the starting running backs, and he quickly just rumbles his way for about 13 yards on that first play, Bless.
Yeah, that was a nice hole, and if they just charge forward, then Cats are going to have to fill. That young linebacking core has got to fill in. Jasper's made a little shift here where we got a 6-man front, 2 linebackers, and then a bigger shifted to adding a defensive lineman up front to combat the running attack of the Raiders here.
You see a real active backfield there is coming from a wingback position. The right wing right there is Householder getting another carry, but the Wildcats all over it this time. Good defense there to knock him back, I think, for about a loss of a yard. So we'll call it 2nd and 11.
The real key to this is going to be how well that line of scrimmage is controlled. And, Jasper's got an experienced defensive line, very active, a lot of athletes, and they got to get in the backfield to disrupt things, and then the linebackers have to fill.
So under center is the quarterback, Luke Stetter, and there's a little early movement there. I believe this may be against the Southridge Raiders. Yes, it is, so a little bit of movement on the line. Real quickly, let's go through the backs there. We got a quarterback, Luke Stetter. He's number 6. Your backs are Aiden Mitchell, number 28, Alex Householder, who's number 16, and Connor Craig, number 25. And we talked about Craig with an outstanding game last week with 4 overall touchdowns, 1 receiving, 2 rushing, and 1 on a punt return. And his receivers out there, they don't throw it much. He was only 3 of 5 passing for 94 yards last week, but he did throw 2 touchdowns, including 1 to Brett Nardoff, who plays tight end, number 46, and the split end is Cody Thompson, number 82.
Yeah, as the coaches told us this week, if Southridge throws into the double digits tonight, it's because they're behind or they're not doing or they're changing things up quite a bit because they really want to establish the run.
2nd and 16, and they are going to throw this time. And they do go this time against the sophomore. That's Grant Teal, who's now wearing 11. I know he had that on the roster last week, but wore number 30. But pass was a little bit overthrown. So Cody Thompson not able to haul that in.
I think UPS lost the jersey last week, Schneider. That's why Grant was number 30.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I do a lot of business with UPS, so
there's an old number 70, Lenny Hillenbrand. We'll have to call him about.
That's right. There you go.
UPS losing that shipment confused all of the media.
So just underway here. 10:48 on the clock. Southridge facing a 3rd and 16 from the 27-yard line. Throwing long again this time and way overthrown again. He's not able to hit Thompson. So actually pretty good coverage over there by the young defensive back, Wes.
Yeah, it was good coverage, and the defensive line made a good surge, so they were up on top of him. Maybe let loose of it a little too quick, and the receiver just didn't get underneath it. I mean, just not enough time. And again, the key to watch, I think, is going to be how Jasper's defensive line competes against the offensive line of Southridge. That's really in football where most of the battles are taken. But if our guy Jasper's spending most of the time in the backfield, it's going to be some adjustments made by Southridge, I'm sure.
So Southridge will punt it away. And
like
nice
we got
high
the Betts
kick.
twins deep.
And a fair catch called right there just at about the 39-yard line. So that's where the Wildcats will start off, 1st and 10. And the Wildcat offense, taking a look at the starters there as far as the offensive line. We've got number 61, Ryan Hoth. The guards are Craig Sander on the right side, Neil Rose on the left side. He's number 62, Sander 65, Dylan Pearson, number 78. Colin Bolin at number 69 at the left tackle. Tight ends. Usually the Cats will run a couple tight ends, and we'll see some different sets out there, but Philip Hipschman, number 7, and Austin Alice, number 85. But right now it looks like actually Ben Morris split to our near side. Ben will play a little running back. He'll play a little slot and a little split end, so he comes in motion this time, shotgun formation. As Aarons rolls out, chucks it out there. He's got one of his favorite targets. He only had 2 catches last week, but he's always eyeing Alice right there, as Alice looks like he's got himself enough maybe for a first down.
Yeah, and the Cats this week in practice were clearly working on getting the ball in Alice's hands. He's a real threat, and of course the local Jasper side of fans here isn't too happy with that spot.
Yeah.
But it's a nice first down gain, 2nd and 1. That's a good start.
All right, so the ball is resting at the 48-yard line is where they put it. 2nd and 1. The give is to Hale right up the middle, and he's got a lot of running room right there as he rumbles about 13 yards. Across midfield, across the 40, down to about the 39-yard line of Southridge. So just like that, the Wildcats moving right along offensively. No sputters like we had early on in last week's game, Bless.
Not at all. I tell you what, once the offensive line got settled last week, they really did a nice job of creating some space for those running backs. And if we give our backs space, they're going to make some yards.
Under center this time, little play action, rolls to his right, dumps off. He finds more, good snag there. He handles the football, gets across the 35, down to about the 33-yard line, I believe, is where they're going to spot this football. So a nice little play there, dump off to one of your better athletes, and Ben Moore, number 12.
Yeah, really made a nice catch, and that's just a great athletic play. And both these teams just have such good athletes for schools their size. And Ben making a nice catch, one-handed catch, and making something out of it. Another good first down play. It's a lot easier to run second and 4 or 2 or short than long.
So just like that, Ahrens, he's got time, good protection. He dumps it off to kind of his safety valve there as Wood came in. Did you see how he came in motion kind of in the backfield there and then just kind of rolled to his left, but wasn't able to hang on to that football. He wasn't really going to go anywhere, I don't think, if he did.
I think the play broke down a little bit. The coverage was good, and they improvised a little bit, and Zach just couldn't quite hang on to it.
All right, so that's going to bring up a third down situation for the Wildcats, 3rd and 4. 9:02 on the clock, no score yet in this football game, just underway. Jasper against Southridge, a big clash of basically the battle of DuBois County when it comes to the gridiron tonight. There's shotgun, kind of a high snap, but he does find a wide open Ben Moore over there. He handles that football and gets across the 30 down to the 25, inside the 25 to about the 24-yard line. So another nice little pitch and catch to the junior running back.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a threat. Ben Moore is catching or running, and Nolan Ahrens has been right on target. And, they really ran everybody out of the zone and just cleared it out. And boy, Ben had a lot of space and pretty easy first down there.
All right, so 9 yards on that nice play, and the Wildcats with 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. This time Moore is actually in a tight end spot as Hipschman drops back into a wide split here. But Hale with another nice run. He's looking really sharp so far in this football game, Bless.
Yeah, it was a nice pickup. It's got good space and just keeps those legs turning and gets a good 6-7 yard carry.
Well, that's what you need. I mean, every single football team out there, as long as you control the line of scrimmage, you'll take 6-7 yards a pop every single time. So we'll call this 2nd and 4. So the ball is at the 19-yard line. So maybe a 2nd and long 5. This time Ahrens under center. Nobody split out this time as they got tight ends all on the line there. Well, actually, he had Wood split to the right side. Give up in the middle, I think, to the fullback. But I think Songer was out there. We'll see who carried the ball there.
I think it was Nick Hale on a quick hitter, quick dive.
So Hale with another run. He's got 3 runs so far, 2-yard gain. Ball will rest at the 17-yard line, 3rd down and 3.
Looks like Nick's going to take a little rest with 3rd and short, and we'll probably go with some splits here. Really been in a good situation on that 2nd down so far. After every first down, we've had relatively 2nd and short, so it's 3rd down try here.
Ahrens quick, he's going to be one-on-one, looking at that nice move by Wood, and he's just going to prance into the end zone for an easy 17-yard touchdown. So that is Ahrens to Zach Wood, number 87, for 17 yards for the score. Cats get on the board fast there, Bless.
Hey, I tell you what, that's good. The guys upstairs are watching the lineups, and they were playing off Zach Wood, just a little simple hitch. And a guy with Zach Wood's quickness, if he's got a little space, make a move, that's pitch and catch, and then let him do what he does, just like we used to do in the backyard.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that, because he showed that last week. We had that 42-yard touchdown reception against Memorial as he got to about the 10-yard line last week, made a nice nifty move, able to get into the end zone. So the Cats first on the board. Kruger with a nice boot right through. He seems to be automatic, but there is a flag on the play. 2 flags down there. We'll see what this is all about. And I know the Cats usually try to do that hard count to get the defense to jump off. They've been pretty successful. They actually took advantage of that last week a couple times and did get a 2-point conversion out of it at least once, I remember.
Yeah, I tell you what, as far as Cal Kruger kicks it, though, the people that park in that first row there, and I don't know what street that is, 4th Street?
Yeah.
You might have to put up a net, or you might not want to park there.
You may. And I'll tell you what, it kind of reminds me of back when we had the Pony League field behind us back here. I can still remember one time at the plate, and I fouled one off and busted a windshield back here, and I look back, and the umpire goes, you might have been joking with me, but when you're 13, 14 years old, you take everybody at their word, and you're like, hey, buddy, that was my car.
Well, that was probably Pat Sammons, who ended up being one of our coaches when we
Yeah,
got
that's
to high
true.
school football.
Yeah, the legendary Pat Sammons.
Yeah. The old timers might remember old Pat.
Yep,
Sarge.
his job was to get everybody fired up for the football games, and I don't know if it worked all the time or not. It didn't seem like it took much to get us too pumped up. But, yeah, it looks like this is going to be against Southridge. We'll see if the Cats decide to go for two and get a –
Looks like we're going to take the point.
yeah, okay. All right, so the point's straight through, so they do take it, and so Jasper leads 7-0. So we'll take a quick break in the action here. Jasper with 7:14 on the clock jumps out first. Well, it still says 6 on the board. Well, okay, there we go. So 7's on the board. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with the kickoff right after this. Back again at Jerry Brewer Alumni Stadium. You're watching Jasper and Southridge football here tonight.
All you folks watching probably realize that was a roughing the kicker penalty, a 15-yard penalty, but me and Craig were reminiscing. I got a feeling this one's going deep.
That's right. No, that's not going to take much for him. He's probably going to put it through the uprights, and he does. So credit him with a, what was that, about a 55-yard field goal if it was official. So he puts it right through the uprights. So Kruger's just really showing his strength with his leg all year so far in this early football campaign. But
I think every time he's kicked off, he's got a touchback. We'll see how that progresses throughout the year.
So you're watching high school football brought to you by 18 WJTS. Again, a great battle between the Jasper Wildcats and the Southridge Raiders. The Jasper Wildcats up 7-0 with 7:14 to go here in the first quarter. Scored on their first drive as Southridge is set up with two backs in the backfield. Pitch out there. I believe that I'd say I was probably Craig with the football.
Yeah, nice play by, I think that's at 48. No, I'm sorry, Spencer Otto cut him down.
Otto. Okay.
You know, one thing we mentioned that the defense adjusted a little bit. There's an extra defensive lineman. We got two linebackers, Luke Sermerson and Cole Kryline, and trying to beef it up there in the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Against this wing T formation, you're going to see a lot of different movement in the backfield, a lot of different backs running the football. Jasper's challenging Southridge to throw the ball, and so far, Stetter's 0 for 2 as a quick hitter up the middle there, not gaining much. So first play netted only about 2 yards, second play 2 yards. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 6. Ball rests at the 24-yard line. 24-yard line of the Southridge. And neither one of these teams really huddles up at all anymore, it seems like. You don't see that much in high school ball. Two wings back air and one back, but he throws it out to Householder. He makes a nice nifty move, gets away from the defender, and then the Wildcats finally pick him up. I don't think he had enough for well, it could be close because he just had to get to the 30 there, and it looks like it's right on the 30. That should be enough for a first down. So the quarterback, Luke Stetter, completes it to his running back, Householder. So we'll call that officially a 6-yard completion. So it's going to be 1st and 10. Ball rest now at the 30-yard line. Householder takes it, but then they can do that counter to the inside. Craig's got the football. He's very dangerous in the open field. Wildcats finally get to him, but not until he gets to about the 48-yard line, I believe. So that's about an 18-yard play there.
Little misdirection and big hole there for him to run through.
Yeah, so Connor Craig said last week, just an outstanding game overall in that football game. 74 yards on just 8 carries last week. And just a single wing to the left with two backs back here. Householder gets the ball. He makes a nice nifty move before defensive back Braden Betts is able to bring him down. So he weeds his way through the line of scrimmage, gets across midfield, across the 45 down to the 44-yard line. So about gain of about 7 on that play.
You know, one thing that might become a factor is the heat. It's really a warm night. And you know, all these pads, it's just a real challenge.
Yeah, and that's
the battle through it.
Well, actually, I mean, there is kind of a breeze down there. I mean, it's nice and hot up here in the press box. There's no doubt about that. Little equipment time out there. Well, we got that. We'll just talk about some of the defensive players out there. The Cats defense, Moises Valenciano, Spencer Otto, Corey Bukta, Kyle Miller and Austin Alice.
Looks like
we're going to see mostly probably a 5-man line tonight, Bless.
Yeah, I think that's really the deal against this wing tee. You want a lot of people up front to match up, and we got to get some penetration getting to the backfield. Nice job by the linebackers pouring in there to stuff that hole.
Yeah.
I think we got Cole Cryline and Tate Blessinger is now in at linebacker. Made a nice play.
So Mitchell's run right there only gains about 2 yards, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 1. Also in on that stop is Corey Bookta doing a nice job in his run stopping role from his defensive tackle spot. So
it's a big play here. Big play for the Cats defense and the Southridge offense.
So boom, right up the middle. There was a quick one. And Craig easily gets that first down.
Yeah, he didn't get a lot, but it was a nice play. He got exactly what they needed, which is what that play is designed to do. You're not expecting to get touchdowns on those, just first downs. Nice play by Southridge, get a little surge and get their first down.
So 2-yard run there by Connor Craig. Gives Southridge a 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Moving right along in the Wildcat territory, 3:58 on the clock. Clock stopped briefly for a move of the change there, but now it's running here.
Number 53, Boone John, reporting in on the line. Sophomore playing defensive line. Big, strong kid.
Connor Craig goes in motion, but it looks like there's, movement on Southridge's side. So that's going to knock him back 5. So we'll see a 1st and 10 as we'll move this back to the Wildcat 45-yard line.
One thing we didn't mention, a new starter on defense. I think you mentioned we announced, but Miller is one of the starting defensive linemen.
Yeah, that was one move that the Wildcats actually made.
Yeah, they reduce the linebackers and add to the linemen. So
Kyle Miller getting a start tonight at the defensive end spot. The linebackers mostly been Cole Cryline, Luke Sturmersheim. Your backs are the Betts, along with Grant Teal and also Stallwood out there, and that pass is a little long there. They're really trying to pick on Grant Teal, it looks like a little bit. I mean, it's he's completed 1 pass so far, but 3 of his attempts tonight have gone incomplete as he's trying to hit Cody Thompson there on the left side.
And I'm sure the key there is Cody Thompson's their weapon, and Grant's on that side. They might be keying on him with maybe a couple of mistakes last week, but I'm telling you, all those kids grew up last week after that first quarter.
No doubt about it, and that's the thing. If you're going to grow up in the middle of a football game where you can make some improvements. So the Wildcats doing a great job with that last week. There's a nice play by our defense. Look at that, Alice and also Moises Valenciano, probably the 2 most experienced guys on that line, along with Spencer Otto, just doing a great job and making a great play to knock him back for a loss.
They're all right there. That's just great penetration. Now we got 3rd and 19. And it's a good situation to be in. Our defense is flying. The Southridge has moved the ball, but after that penalty, it just puts them in a tough spot, and now they're going the wrong direction. You've got to stay aggressive on defense, but be cautious.
No doubt about it. And so still in Wildcat territory right there at the 49-yard line, but facing a long 3rd and 19. As Stetter quickly chucks it out there. He gets it to his weapon, Craig, but looking an outstanding play by the sophomore coming up from the spot. Grant Teal.
That was good defense, well executed. That's the way the coaches draw it up, and Coach Eckert's proud of his defense after that series of downs.
So just 3 yards on that play. Nice tackle by Grant Teal. And like I said, it makes simple sense, to pick on the inexperienced back there, but boy, he's just doing an outstanding job so far, covering it real well.
Yeah, everybody looks at the roster and sees how old they are, but after all the practices and all the things they've been through, and as we progress through some games, these guys are just all varsity football players at this point.
Right. So the Raider punt rolls down. It's going to be dead right there at about the 16-yard line, so not a bad punt there. And so the Wildcats are going to have a little bit tougher field position to start things off here.
It's one of those that'd be nice, although it's a little dangerous, but it'd be nice if we could catch that and keep that ball from rolling. It saves a few yards, but let's see how the Cats roll with their offense here.
All right, so just $1:51 on the clock right now left here in the first quarter. Jasper leads at 7-0, and it looks like we got an official's timeout on the field. So we'll take a break here. Again, Jasper up 7-0 over the Southridge Raiders here late in the first quarter. You're watching Wildcat and Raider football here on 18 WJTS. Jasper a takeover here with 1:51 to go here in the first quarter. They lead 7-0 over Southridge. Ball rests at the 15-yard line after the punt by Southridge. So the Wildcat defense, again, holding Southridge to no points on the board. This time Ben Moore at the tailback spot gets the carry as the power pitch to him. Maybe nets about 3 yards or so. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, that's, although not a bad first down play, that's probably the worst one so far tonight for the Cats on offense.
So the Wildcat offense looking to score on their second possession of the football game. Southridge has had 2 possessions with no points yet on the board. This time tried a little wingback counter play, actually a tight end counter play, unless I think that might have been the offensive guard. Number 61 that was pulling on that play, and he ran into his quarterback. Well, no, actually it had to be Hope. Yeah, that's right. So, regardless, it didn't work, and there's 3-yard loss.
I'm pretty sure the backs were out of position, not the linemen, because the linemen are the key.
All right, so now we're back to a 3rd and 10 situation. 3-yard loss on the play. Ball rests at the 18-yard, back at the 15-yard line. So shotgun, quick hitter out there. Alice, I thought he was going to hang on to that football. It did get knocked down, or knocked up in the air right there at the line of scrimmage. Alice looked like he still had a chance to make a play on it, but wasn't able to hang on. So 3 and out for the Cats, bless.
He just lost concentration, and here's a good example. You know, we had a nice series the first time, one little mistake, and then we got 3rd and long, and you know, Alice had a chance to catch that even after the tip pass, and just lost a little concentration. Although I think he was going to get hit pretty good. He did get hit pretty good at the time. All right, so let's get a good kick here and then see what happens.
So Aaron's back to punt for the Wildcats. You got Craig, who, like I said last week, 65-yard return. He's going to field that ball at the 49-yard line, gets across midfield, and he's still on his feet as he gets across the 40 down to about the 38-yard line of the Wildcats. So nice return there. He's always a threat no matter what he does, catching, running, or receiving the football, and right there he shows him his skill and ability to be able to get about 13 yards in that return.
Yeah, we were there right when he caught it, slowed him down a little bit. There weren't enough guys there to help finish the play off. It's a nice return by Craig, certainly. Made the guy miss, and he just showed some determination in moving forward.
Okay, so Southridge will have the ball at the 37-yard line, 1st and 10.
Great field position.
Craig goes in motion, but they give it to the fullback, Mitchell, number 28. And Aiden with a nice little barrel forward there, gets across the 35 down to about the 33-yard line, I believe. So gain of about 4 on the play. So Tate Blessinger on the stop there. I think you know that kid, don't you, Bless?
Yeah, I'm familiar with him. He's a determined young man.
So that's going to end the first quarter of action as Jasper jumps out on their first possession, scores, but we're 3 and out in their last one, so both teams starting to pick it up defensively. Jasper 7, Southridge nothing. You're watching Wildcat and Raider football tonight here on 18 WJTS. We'll be back after this. Back at Jerry Brewer Alumni Stadium, it's Southridge against Jasper, and Coach Scott Buning in his first big clash for the goalpost against the Jasper Wildcats. So he's got his Raider football team in a pretty good spot right now. It's 2nd and 6. Ball rest at the Jasper 33-yard line after a nice punt return by Connor Craig. So we'll see what the Raiders do on this play here. Is a quick hitter up the middle for Householder, and Tate Blessinger all over that play. He did an outstanding job quickly coming up and stopping that.
Nice quick hitter and to fill the hole. That's what they're teaching. Got to fill those holes whenever they're there.
So it looks like a gain of about 3 yards. Could have been more because he had a nice head of steam right there before number 31 knocked him back. So nice play by Tate. So we're now facing a 3rd and 3.
Big play here.
And Craig gets the football here. Nice spin move as he breaks away and gets enough for the first down and more as he gets across the 25 down to about the 23, maybe the 22-yard line.
Yeah, it was a nice 3rd down play. It's It's a familiar play, but when you execute those familiar plays, you can still get yards.
So that's going to be a 1st and 10 for Southridge. They're knocking on the door. Ball now rests at the 23-yard line. And it just seems like that the activity that they have in the backfield there is starting to pay off a little bit as the Wildcats look a little confused on who's going to get the football. This time it's actually
up pretty good.
Number 9 with the carry on that play, and that is Jacob Mundy coming in, getting his first carry of the ball game. Only gains about 1. We'll call it 2nd and 9.
Second down and 9 coming up for the Raiders at the 22.
So this time we got the 2 backs set up in the backfield, but you got the wing on the right side, and you know he's always a threat to get the football with all the, like I said, activity typically going on in the backfield on most of their plays. As Stetter pitches it quickly out to Craig, trying to take advantage of his quickness to get the outside. He is met right there by Portland Betts, but not before he's able to get across the 20 and actually inside the 15, it looks like. So that's going to be 3rd and just a yard, so about 8 yards on that play.
You know, the Raiders did a nice job of packing it in, and of course the Cats matched it on defense, and then they went wide with their quick back, and it was a nice play.
Well, Southridge is going to want to talk about this. They know this is a very important possession. They want to get some points on the board, preferably 6 versus just a 3 from a field goal. So they're going to take a timeout. We'll take a timeout here with 10:01 to go. Jasper leads 7-0. We'll be back. You're watching Jasper and Southridge football on 18 WJTS. Back again at Jerry Brewer Alumni Stadium as Southridge talks about it a little bit there. Used their first timeout of the half. Face a 3rd and 1 at the 15-yard line.
There's a timeout, but then they're running a play in, so it's a big play here for everybody. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, that was the thing. I think there was a lot of confusion. Everybody went to the right. You had basically your T backfield there, and the quarterback went left. However, he had an initial hit by Alice there, and I think he was able to squirt away, and he may have.
It's going to be 4th.
Yeah, okay, so he's just going to be short. Yep. So they got that ball resting just shy of the 14-yard line, and they need to get past the 14 to get the first down, so they're going to be a yard short here.
With the confusion on Southridge, that turned out pretty good because that could have been a 3-yard loss. And instead, they can really go for it here. 4-down territory, short 4.
4th and 1. It gives the householder. He's got plenty. Scoots to the outside to his right there and gets inside the 10.
It's a nice play, a good run. We almost had him, but he just escaped. That's what good backs do, make the first guy miss.
So the Raiders on the move, continue on with this drive on a 4th and 1. Go for it and come up big and get that ball down to the 5-yard line. So 10 yards on that play by number 16. That's Alex Householder. So they're not afraid to use all their backs back there as they pitch this time to Craig. He gets to the outside and met by the Wildcats. Connor Craig is inside the 5 there, but we'll see how far he got. I can't really tell. I think he's down to about the 3, maybe the 2-yard line. We'll see if they spot it. Ooh, inside the 2, so about a 3-yard run there.
Field's getting short here. 2nd and goal. You know, here's where you got to look. You got to really stack them up and look for the quick hitter, or they're going to go to the outside, and then you got to have guys contain.
They gave it to Craig this time, and they just tried to run that off left tackle right there, and the Wildcats just all over it.
Nice
you see
job.
Spencer Otto with a nice pop on the play.
Good job, good surge by the defensive line to not let the offense move forward. So
number 76 Bookta comes in. They're going to bring Alice out. So just trying to beef it up the middle there. So really no gain on the play.
Really got to watch containment here on the Cats.
This time they give it to this time they went in the inside with the wing back counter play, and he's able to take it in. I'm trying to see who actually carried the football. And it looks like it was Householder, so he takes it in for the 2-yard plunge, and Southridge is on the board, 7-6.
It's a nice drive. Good job by Southridge to just keep plugging away, and it needed the conversions, and they came up with them, made the plays.
So just like that, they take advantage of a nice punt return to get it deep into Jasper territory. They started with the football at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, it was really all set up by a good punt return and good field position.
So the kick is down, the kick is up, and it scoots through. That's number 22, Guadalupe Perez, as he gets the extra point through. So game's tied with 8:02 on the clock. Jasper 7, Southridge 7. You're watching high school football here on 18 WJTS. We'll be back with the kickoff right after this. Alumni Stadium, Southridge gets on the board there for the first time as they come away with a 10-play drive starting at the 38-yard line of the Jasper Wildcats, all runs, and finished off with a 2-yard run by number 16, Alex Householder. The kick was good, and with 8:02 to go, we got a deadlock tie here on the football field, Bless.
Yeah, it was a nice drive by Southridge, and here we are tied up. Quite a bit of time to go, so we'll see how things go.
So Ethan Schweppe, number 74, boots it down there. That's going to be fielded by Ben Moore. He's going to get an opportunity to try to get to the outside there, but he is met quickly. Nice play there by number 14, Michael Boyd, coming up with the tackle.
Good coverage there, only letting us get to the 22 on a return.
Yeah, because he caught that ball right around the 5 or 6 yard line or so. So does get across the 20, so I guess a net of 2 extra yards instead of the ball going into the end zone. So the Wildcats will start 1st and 10.
Yeah, now it's important for the Cats to answer here and see what they can do. If they can do something offensively to. Southridge did a good job on defense last time.
All right, Southridge gonna have to, or Jasper's gonna have to burn a timeout this time. Actually, they had Ian Songer was in the huddle, then he took off, ran to the sideline. They didn't have enough players out there, so a little confusion on what the offensive formation was supposed to be. So we'll take a quick break in the action with 7:56 to go. We got a deadlock tie, Jasper 7, Southridge 7. We'll be back right after this. For Alumni Stadium, the Wildcats having to call a timeout there with a little confusion on the formation, so they use their first timeout. Jasper and Southridge at a tie at 7 with just under 8 minutes to go here in the half. So actually a little hold up right there. They not started the play clock. There we go. So shotgun set up as Ahrens takes the snap, looks to his left. Ooh, nearly picked off, but I think Moore was still able to hang on to that football. But boy, just really making a nice break on the play there as the cornerback, number 3, Justin King.
Yeah, it was a nice play, good coverage. He came up, made the play as soon as he caught it. Just barely behind the football, but good coverage and really actually a nice catch by Ben Moore to get something where it could have been nothing.
So 4 yards on that pass play. We'll call it 3 yards, 2nd and 7. Hand off in the middle to Hale.
Nothing in the middle. If anything, we lost yardage there.
So Hale was only able to, actually I guess no gain on that play as the ball is still going to rest at the 25-yard line. So 3rd and 7 for the Cats, and the Cats offense sputtered a little bit here. So Southridge doing an outstanding job defensively, especially on that front line.
Big 3rd down play here. You know, in the first series, Jasper really had some big first downs, and now we're pressed to have a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6. Got to make something happen here.
Ahrens tries to set up a screen and read very nicely there by the Southridge Raiders. I'm going to try to see who actually made that first pop on him as the rest of the Raiders jumped all over, and that was actually number 43. Coming from his defensive tackle spot was Luke Siddons, so he read that well and knocks him back for a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, he was right there on that play. Well done by Southridge. Just nothing. Another completion, but knows just doesn't matter whenever they make a good play like that.
So a 3-yard loss. That's going to be 4th and 10. That's going to force Ahrens to punt from his own 22-yard line. Whistles blow. I don't see a flag, so we'll see what, I guess.
You know, it's interesting. Jasper's running this rugby punt system, which allows you to take what the defense will give you. So I think that's what, with Nolan Ahrens is the punter. He really doesn't line up in standard punt formation, but he takes the punt and starts to read it, and I think if there's something wide open, they can take it, which would be extremely dangerous down here on this end of the field. But
well, Southridge didn't like what they were facing there. Take a quick timeout with 6:08 to go. Jasper setting a punt here, and game's deadlocked 7-7. We'll be back right after this. Ball rests at the 22-yard line, 4th and 10, as the Cats are going to have to punt it away, and waiting back there is Connor Craig, who actually had a nice 13-yard punt return last time to set up good field position. The Raiders took advantage and scored well. The little rugby-style punt there. And they're going to try to keep it away from Craig this time. Probably a good move, even though it wasn't a great punt, but it does roll to the 46-yard line of Southridge. So still pretty good field position for this Raider team that just rolled last time, Bless.
Yeah, they're starting out right at midfield or just beyond it. And the Jasper defense needs to step it up and try and contain that strong running game of Southridge. You know, it really all boils down to the line of scrimmage. And folks watching on TV, it's hard not to, but if you just watch what happens on that line of scrimmage where those guys first meet, that'll tell you who's probably going to win the battle.
So the Raider defense doing their job, 2 straight 3-and-outs for the Wildcats, and looking to take a lead in this football game as Stetter drops back to pass, gets some pressure there, and eventually the Wildcats do catch up with him. We'll give credit that time to Moises Valenciano coming up from his nose guard spot to make that tackle for a loss.
Yeah, that's a big first down play. Now it's 2nd and long, and you know that just didn't happen the last series for Southridge. They were progressively moving forward. Here they take a risk and try and throw it on first down, and at least for now the gamble lost. Still got 3 downs to go.
So 6 yards on the loss there. Nice sack by Valenciano, his first sack of the season. 5:22, clock running right now. Ball rests at the 40-yard line, 2nd and 16. We got a full T backfield there, and the Wildcats really attack this time as Householder carries the football, number 16, and he gains nothing.
It's a nice job by the Wildcats. There was a lot of people there to make the tackle. It looked like there was a hole, and then all of a sudden everybody fills it up. Did a nice job of pursuit and gang tackling. That's really something Jasper's known for, is getting a lot of guys to the ball.
Well, the main thing is you just want to make that initial hit. We had an actually good penetration by the linebacker, Cole Kryline, making that initial hit, and the Cats able to keep him from no gain this time. They try to get, actually second man comes through, and look at that, Householder, nothing as Tate Blessinger with a monster pop on that play, Bless.
I'll tell you what, well, someone stopped him, and Tate gets a little of the glory by getting a big hit, but the real play was made by holding him up, and then Tate finished him off. But that was just perfect execution of here's the hole, the first linebacker comes up, makes a stop, and then the other guy finishes him off. It was just defense. Coach Eckert's he's gonna be smiling about that. I'm sure there's probably something wrong with the coverage. He'll yell somebody about, but at least up front, that one looked good.
All right, so no gain on that play. Ball will still sit at the 40-yard line as Southridge is now going to have to punt it away with a 3-and-out. So an outstanding job by the Wildcat defense, especially the linebackers that time. Ball flies right there, fair catch, and nicely coming up with that grab. That's a tough play to make there, Bless.
It is on the move. You know, they teach. Coach Roletter always taught us. Catch those punts with your hands. You never want them slipping through, but that's a nice job. Fair catch. You know, if that ball bounces, all of a sudden the ball's down at the 20 instead of at the 35. Just a big, huge difference.
There's no doubt.
So the Cats got good field position after a good defensive stand.
So Cortland Betts doing his job as a punt receiver on that play. Wildcats set up in their familiar eye backfield.
It looks like the Cats are going to the old traditional Wildcat offense, and they really need to set themselves up with some just go forward, pound it kind of offense here.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, especially you want to try to get some establishment on that line of scrimmage. And, you know, last week the Wildcat offensive line of Ryan Hof, Craig Sander, Neil Rose, Dylan Pearson, and Colin Bowen did an outstanding job. So Cats looking to do it there, but not able to gain much on that run, as there's actually no gain, and the ball will still set at the 37-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Not a lot there, but the offensive lines need some surge, and those backs got to hit the hole and try and get us a couple yards.
Hale's going to get the ball this time, running to the left side. Cats had great success on the left side last week. Was able to gain maybe 3 on the play. I think he's just shy of the 40-yard line. Actually, it's sitting right there at the 39, so just gain of 2. So we're going to face another 3rd and long situation here, Bless.
Yeah, my roster just flew out the window, Schneider. I got the fans helping me out down in front. Thank you.
A lot of help there, so you got to take advantage of that. 2:47 on the clock. We got a deadlock score here. Cats with an eye backfield, 3rd and 7. Aaron's going to roll right with a little play action. He's got Alice wide open. He's got the football, and he's just right at about midfield. It looks like he's across it down to the 48, I think 47-yard line. So a nice catch and run there by number 85.
It's just a well-executed play. We flooded the zone. We had a guy going deep, and got two guys in the flat. And, of course, Nolan hits Austin Allis, sure-handed Austin Allis, and that's just a nice third down play. Third and long and just well-executed.
Just what we need for the Jasper Wildcats. So that's 13 yards on that play. Ball now rests at the Raider 47-yard line, 1st and 10. He's going deep. He's got Wood one-on-one against. Oh, and he does come up with that football. An outstanding job by Wood as he takes it all the way for the touchdown. 47 yards on the play. It looked like it was kind of a one-on-one situation right there between Wood and the safety, Cody Thompson, and Wood wins that battle.
You know, that was a great catch in traffic. He made a snag at his hips or below. Just good concentration, and once he had it, he was going to be hard to stop.
So a 47-yard touchdown puts Jasper back on the board again and gives them the lead 13-7.
You can't complain about a successful touchdown like that, but the coaches are probably going to tell him he really needed to be. He was probably supposed to run a post and be inside that guy, but what a nice catch to improvise and just make a big touchdown here.
No doubt about it. So the snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is straight through. So Kruger puts it again through the upright, and Jasper leads at 14-7 with 2:15 to go here in the half. Big play for the Cats to get back on the board there and take a lead in this football game. We'll take a break in the action. Jasper leads 14-7. We'll be back. You're watching Wildcat and Raider football on WJTS Channel 18. We'll be back right after this. 47 yards. Aarons to Wood, hooking up for the second time this year for a touchdown reception, and Jasper leads at 14-7 with 2:15 to go as Kruger tees it, boots it, and we're going to give him an opportunity to boot or return this time. I think it's Householder with the football. He takes it, tries to get across the 20. He does to about the 22, 23-yard line. So Kruger typically, and actually he's got a wind at his back this time, just got underneath that football. Typically he's been putting it in the end zone almost every time, boys.
Yeah, that wasn't so deep, but it sure was high. He's got a good leg, so there I jinxed him last time whenever he kicked off and talked about how he had kicked everyone in the end zone. So,
all right, so Southridge.
Sorry about that, Cal.
Will start this drive. Actually, our last two times they actually had really good field position, took advantage of it. 2 drives before, putting 7 points on the board to tie this football game. Jasper comes back with a big pass play between Aarons and Wood as Southridge with a wing on the right side and double backfield, but not much right there as the Wildcat right side
really plugged it up. Nice job by the defense. Not much room there.
Yeah, I think that was Spencer Otto and I believe Bookta, number 76, doing an outstanding job. So they actually got Spencer set up at the defensive end spot now. Starting off with this football game, they actually had him more in an interior line spot. Kyle Miller, I believe, is still out there.
He's at the left end, and I think Boone John's playing some defensive line.
Okay.
Giving Austin Allis a break on this warm night.
That's Boone John, number 53, is on that left tackle spot as flags fly here.
It's another sophomore getting some playing action.
So Southridge having some difficulty now.
These penalties kill you. Coaches hate those things.
So a 5-yard penalty will move that football back to the 18-yard line.
And anything that makes the coaches grouchy usually makes it tough on the players, so it's not a good thing.
So the Raiders now, instead of a second and 9, looking at a 2nd and 14. Clock approaching 1 minute to go here in the first half. Jasper leads 14-7. And Southridge. Actually, this time they do give it to Craig. Very dangerous as always, and he gets across the 30-yard line. So a nice, nifty run by the junior tailback. Number 25 gets it to about the 32, 33-yard line, I believe, and that's plenty on that 15-yard run for a first down.
It's a nice play. Good run, good hard running. First guy certainly didn't get him, and did a good job of running the ball on that one.
So you face 2nd and 14, get 15, you get a first down, so big play.
I think, the backs for Southridge, if they get some room, they're athletic and fast enough, some things are going to happen.
Craig on the carry this time as he pulls his way to about the 35-yard line, gain of about 2. It's going to bring up 2nd and 8. As Southridge, I think, is just going to let this run out as we're down to about 13 seconds, and they're just going to let this clock time out. So really, Southridge taking advantage of great field position on their possession after that punt return got them down to the 38-yard line to tie this football game. Had a couple stops of the Jasper Wildcats, but then the Wildcats able to get back up on the board on their last possession as Ahrens hits Zach Wood for 47 yards for a touchdown. So Jasper with a 14-7 lead as we go into halftime. Wes, what are your thoughts?
Well, there at the end of the half, just letting the clock run out, it's a safe play, but it also might give an indication of the confidence Southridge has, or the lack of it, in their passing game. They're just not a passing game, and they know that, if you got to go, 60 or 70 yards, their offense just didn't set up for that. So, on the scoring drive they had, they just pounded it and ground it out and pounded, and that was a nice drive by them. If they get too far behind, it's just going to be difficult because they're just not going to be a quick hitting scoring team. Where Jasper, I'm not sure our running game looked that good. We need to take control of the line of scrimmage and get some more space for those good quick backs we've got. And really, I think most of our offense in the first half, at least on the scoring, has been passing. Nolan Ahrens has been dead on, very accurate. I don't know what his completion rate is. It's got to be high, but we can't have that passing game. What makes that work is a good running game.
You're talking about his completion rate being high. He's got 2 touchdown passes to Zach Wood, 17 yards, and then also the last one for 47 yards to come up with these 14 points after the 2 extra points. But, and taking a look at how things have gone so far in this football game, I mean, Southridge had possession to start things off and weren't able to come up with anything, and they punted away to the Wildcats, and that's where the Wildcats, with a combination of passing and running. Actually, Hale had a 13-yard run on that first possession there. And then we had pass plays, 9 yards from Ahrens to Alice. Another one to Moore for 6 yards. Moore again to 9 yards before he finally hit Wood for that 17-yard touchdown run to give the Wildcats the score. And the kick was good for 7-0 lead there. Southridge went their next possession without coming up with anything. Having to punt it away. And then the Wildcats with 3 and out. Southridge came back on their first drive after the punt return to start things off in the second quarter, and that was where they were able to just basically run 10 runs for 38 yards to tie this football game at 7-7.
Yeah, and they, of course, set up by a great punt return and a short field. Just makes it difficult when the field's short on the defense. But Southridge took advantage just like you got to, and they everybody's competing, and they just drove it down and put it in.
Yeah, then the defenses kind of took over there. I mean, Jasper was basically 3 and out for the most part there. Then Southridge 3 and out. Jasper not able to do much. Or actually, when they got possession next time, that's whenever.
Yeah, not much happened until the big third down, 13-yard catch by Alice.
Right.
I mean, that's a huge play, and those are the ones that win games when you got 3rd and long and you're making plays, or 3rd and short and making plays. Just those 3rd down conversions, and that gave Ahrens the opportunity to throw it deep to Wood for the score.
Absolutely, because he set that up, and the ball was spotted at the 47-yard line, and that's when Ahrens hit Wood for the 47-yard touchdown to give us our halftime score of 14-7. So we'll take a break in the action here at halftime. Jasper leads Southridge 14-7. You're watching Wildcat and Raider football here on 18 WJTS. We'll be back with second half action right after this.